Hello, welcome to the 9th day of Top Tips for Separated Parents. We're in the second Friday of our lockdown and entering into our second weekend, so I hope everybody's doing well and coping as much as you can and staying safe. I want to cover today the video telephone calls, particularly for those parents that aren't able to see their children, or their children aren't able to see their parents or the other parent face to face at the moment. So I thought I'd produce a handout for some specific points to maybe help you, guidelines, etc. But you can be really creative in this, and as long as it's safe, you can do as much as you can in agreement with the other parent. So this is a call also to the resident parent. If you can try and be a bit more reasonable than normal, unless you are already, it's a very difficult time for the children and your other parent. So if you could try and sort of maybe arrange extra video or telephone calls, this would help, and try and encourage the child to have separate spaces to do this. I can send you the handout if you want to email me at mediationforfamilies@gmail.com. You can request it on a contact sheet at either of our websites, which are www.mediationmk.org.uk or www.integrum.org.uk. I'm going to be uploading it on my Instagram page at Mediator2020, and so I hope that you'll be able to access the information. So I want to cover, I'm going to read off from the handout I produced. So the basic points for any non-face-to-face contact should be that you agree with the other parent a suitable time and day for the call. You may already have these in your child arrangements order or your verbal agreements as a separated parents, and that's great. But it might be a good idea to have some extra ones for, the ease of contact, so that you're not, or replacing as much as you can of the face-to-face contact. So agree a time and a place, a time and a day for the call. Agree who's calling who. A lot of my clients, I hear them saying, oh, it's not my job to call them, or it actually doesn't matter who, just as long as one of you do. It doesn't matter who makes the call. There's no difference to the child as long as that child has contact with the other parent. Encourage your children or your child to engage. Don't force them, but encourage them. Also, as the parent receiving the call, please be aware that you know what our children are like. Sometimes they want to talk, sometimes they don't. So don't take it as an offence or something that the other parent's doing if the child doesn't want to engage. What you could do, and I know it might be upsetting for you, but just sort of put those feelings aside and say, that's okay, shall we do it again tomorrow, or shall I speak to mummy and arrange a call for another day? Okay, and just take that as it is. If you want to call every day, of course there's not going to be a lot more that the child's going to tell you that they've done. So please be reasonable and practical and sensible in this situation. So as the parent hosting the call, set aside a separate space for your child, a separate room possibly, so that they can have their own space, their time, they can relax and feel comfortable to talk or to video call the other parent. I've had some reports from parents that are saying that usually the child will take the FaceTime call around every room in the house and want to include everyone. And that does make maybe the resident parent, extended members of the family that live there, other partners, a bit uncomfortable. So try and set aside a separate room so it's their space, and encourage the child to stick to that space as well. Also, agree what is not to be discussed before the call between the parents. This call is not to be used for any conflict, any concerns about what the other parent might have, any child arrangements, and particularly not to have a go at the other parent. Your child will just want that time. That's their time with their parent, not yours. Please don't hijack it. You can use the other forms of communication to discuss adult issues, like a separate email or a separate telephone conversation, but please do not use this time that's your child's time for their parent. Please don't hover around in the background. Use any silent gestures, body movements. This can cause, or non-verbal gestures, this will cause your child great anxiety. Remember, your children know us more than anything. They're like sponges. They will know every body movement, every facial expression, so they will know if you're getting uptight. And of course, then that will transfer to your child's anxieties. Work with the other parent as possible to arrange maybe live video streaming or movie nights. If your child might have that particular enjoyment with the other parent. On a Friday or a Saturday night, they might like to watch a movie together. So try and encourage, set up a room that they can agree a time and maybe watch a video or movie the same time via FaceTime. Set it up like a movie night, arrange popcorn, hot dogs. So it's an all, really important and enjoyable experience. So try, where possible, to, make your child enjoy that as much as they can. Also, another suggestion was let your child play board games or quizzes with the other parent via video time. Again, set that up and encourage that as much as possible. So if you have the separate space, like their own video link room, that's also quite exciting for the child as well, like it's their space. If there's any special occasions that are coming, and I'm sure there will be, like birthdays, then please, as much as possible, try and arrange a kind of virtual party for the child between the other parent, saying hopefully that they can get back to normal as soon as possible and have a real face-to-face one. But it's making the child, or giving the child, the access to their other parent as much as possible, to enjoy as much as possible the things that they would normally be enjoying together. This will in turn relieve anxiety and stress to you as the resident parent. It will also keep the bond and the relationship going, because contact with the other parent is so important to the child as well as the other parent. Other extended members of the family as well can join in. So there's various video links or virtual providers that you can do that, like Zoom, Skype, Vimeo, FaceTime, WhatsApp audio, also Teams. Some of those applications, particularly Zoom, you can have several people on at the same time, and some of them are free to set up as well. I want to cover a couple of organisations as well which are helpful for you. So Lucy Reed, who is the author of The Family Court Without a Lawyer, runs a pink tape blog and website at pinktape.co.uk. So she has some really good, interesting points to make. And also the 1plus1.org.uk website is a very helpful website. Above all, I'd like you all to keep safe. Please be respectful of the other parent. Please be aware that it's a very stressful time and stress and anxiety might be heightened. Try and listen to your other parent's concerns. Don't dismiss them. Then step back, think about those concerns. What would you do if you were in that situation? Try and offer a compromise or some way to sort it out. Most of all, please be safe, and we will get through this together. So at Mediator 2020, mediationforfamilies@gmail.com if you want to email me. Our websites are www.mediationmk.org.uk and www.integrum.org.uk. Have a safe weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again on Monday. Bye-bye.